Here we are again. Today is October the 18th, 2025. So as of today, here's a new day one outlook. Got a wide, broad area of slight risk with a marginal risk. You can see East Tennessee is during general thunderstorms, and then the day two is kind of creep down a little bit more. Northeast Tennessee looks like to be in the part of it. Tornado risk tomorrow is in the 2%. Day one, they got a big 5% with a 2% surrounding that. Of course, excluding the plateau in East Tennessee. So it looks like the storms, if you look at the radar, hold on. Well, let's look at an overall radar. Let's see here. Let's look at this, because I don't like switching between radars. I don't mind seeing the good ones. Let's look at a radar here. It looks like we got I don't know what the red area is. Special weather statement. Oh, it's a wind advisory. Anyways, so it's a wind advisory basically. Anyways, you can see, let's take off advisories. You can see a big, what do you call it? Shield of rain. Forcing is already become, the mode has become linear because of the forcing is so high. So we've had a lot of, let's see here. We can't advance. Let's advance. See what it shows. See, it gets a lot stronger. That. Getting a few storms that could fire around us, but I don't think instability will be all that perfect. You can see it kind of goes up. This is around 6:35 this evening. So hours will probably, they say, come in around 6-7 o'clock tomorrow morning. The main line will. So, and it could come sooner or later. I mean, we just expecting a dry day, a few pop-up storms. If you look at parameters this morning, we just had a new day one drop. Let's see, if you look at the parameters, you got 500 millibar. There's that shortwave trough right there, the 500 millibar shortwave trough. Looks 700 millibar. You can see that trough. There's that front right there. I'm sorry. So it is, yeah. You can see the front back to the west, going right through there, coming down. So, look at the 850. It's starting to ramp up there, so they'll get all the damaging winds. Alright. We'll look at supercell composites. See, it's right around in there. Look at surface-based CAPE, and you can see it's starting to blow up pretty good right in that area. We're also getting some low-end surface-based CAPE, mixed layer CAPE, starting to bubble up a little bit. around 1,000. Let's look at bulk shear. Definitely have 60 knots back to the west. 50 knots, 0 to 6 kilometer. Definitely see 60, 50 knots. Nothing in this area just yet. 0 to 3 kilometer helicity is not very high right now, but 100. I mean, enough for possible tornadoes, but I think it'd be mostly spin up tornadoes. So go to 0 to 1 kilometer. It's about 100. 50 in some places. It's not very high, so the significant tornado parameters, I would say, yeah, they're not very high. You might have a 1 there. So, tornado risk, they say, does not look very impressive. They say with a linear mode that it would, and if you look here, the surface, you can see the multiple lows. The main low is up to the north up there. And there's kind of a dry line through western Texas. It's messy right now. If you read the day one though, I mean, it says there's a slight risk of a thunderstorm through tonight from Mississippi Valley. Scattered thunderstorms possible mainly this afternoon to 9 across mid to lower Mississippi and lower Ohio valleys. Damaging winds and a few tornadoes and hail may occur. So, form of clusters, short line segments, upscale growth, and a more extensive squall line expected by later this afternoon and evening. Tornado threat is a bit more uncertain given the early messy start to convection this morning, since low level shear will not be strong this afternoon in the warm sector as a result of primary cyclogenesis not occurring until tonight from Illinois into the lower Michigan, north of the richer low-level moisture. Still, a couple of tornadoes may occur with embedded circulations. There will be a potential for more discrete supercells and a few tornadoes ahead of the larger scale lines from far east Texas into Louisiana, southern Arkansas, and Mississippi overnight, where boundary layer dew points exceed 70 and low-level shear increases. So, and then tomorrow, so I mean, tornado threat is not high. And then tomorrow, isolated wind damage may occur in Sunday into Sunday evening parts of the Ohio Valley toward the Appalachians and mid-Atlantic regions. Additional isolated serious storms are possible over the Gulf Coast early Sunday, Ohio Valley and Appalachians and mid-Atlantic. So, shallow convection likely to be ongoing ahead of the front from eastern Michigan into Ohio, Kentucky at the start of the forecast period. Cloud cover and weak low-level moisture advection, 50s dew points will support very weak destabilization ahead of the front. Still a strong ascent, 12-hour change will help force a shallow convection band along the cold front as it moves eastward. While little to no lightning is expected, strong low-level and mid-level winds across much of the northern U.S. may allow for isolated damaging gusts with this low-top convection. Yeah, it's not really forecast to grow upscale. Now, forecasting, I mean, there's always a chance of anything happening, so scattered storms, blah, blah, blah. You can get a short line segment or transient supercells, damaging gusts, or perhaps a tornado or two are possible offshore. Doesn't look like much of a thing for us, so I'd just say it's, I mean, this is a day 2, got a marginal risk. We'll see where it goes from there. I don't know if the southern part of it would go slight for an upgrade in tornadoes or not. I don't know. That's where the best moisture would be. And if you look at the let's look at mesoanalysis. So you can see, we'll look at the 500 millibar. And there's that. And you can go ahead for 2 hours. You can see 4 hours. I think as far as it goes is 6 hours. So, but you can see, let's look at a morning sounding, or a now sounding. So everything looks fine. SCUT, getting a little bit more moisture. No instability yet. Do have dry air from, in between 850, and but we do have well mixed air ahead of, or well mixed air at the surface. Have no unaffected low. See. Now where they're having the, what do you call it? The storms now. Let's go ahead and get a sounding in front of them. Okay, you can see a little bit of curvature. Got about 20, about 20 knots out of the southwest. Then it goes westerly, and then a little bit northeasterly, and then have no streamwise. So almost a straight photograph of that area. So let's get one down here in Texas ahead of the, let's get it. Let's try eastern Oklahoma. Not too good. Do have a moist level, a little bit of a dry slot. So if you look at the environment, you got mixed layer CAPE of 1305. Got effective shear 34 knots. Not really all that good. Helicity is 136. So, I mean, you got a little bit. The mixed layer LCLs are low. So that's, you got low clouds. You got surface-based storms. So STP is like a 1.1. So I mean, it's actually not bad. So, but anyway, I figured I'd make a screen recording of the day one, and you can see out here right now, you can see some of them trees are changing. I didn't realize that. Fire still smells, but yeah, you can see out here it's warm. I mean, it's not like super warm. I felt it warmer before. But it feels pretty good out here. Got a little cloud cover. We are getting some surface heating, so I mean that'll build instability a little bit. But again, this is a fall setup. The shear and the helicity and all that will come after 3-4 o'clock in the morning, so instability should be really low. So, and I'm sure it can just keep some storms, but it's not really going to be able to, we're not going to have any instability available for the storms. So it's an overnight thing. Probably ain't gonna get much. Might get a few severe thunderstorm warnings in the morning, possibly. I don't know. I mean, we're not in any risk. They can happen up in northeast Tennessee, according to the Storm Prediction Center. But here, nothing really. As you can see, yeah, my cat's laying out here with. It's up a little bit. What are you staring at? Got the doggies out here. We're all hanging out. Last night we had I had a pretty good night. Played a little bit until dawn, and then watched a bunch. I watched some movies. What movie did I watch? I watched From Paris with Love, which had John Travolta. I can't remember the other guy's name, but it was a good little spy movie. And then I started watching The Visit. It was a horror movie, and I didn't think it was all that really scary. Of course, I'd watched it before, but I don't know. To me, it's like a comedy. It's not really scary, you know. It's more funny than, you know, anything. So, Mom and Crystal, they're gone to Pigeon Forge. They're up there at their women's conference. They're having a good time. CJ's in there sleeping. I'm fixing to go in there and kind of rattle him awake a little bit. I'm going to start playing some Roblox. We had a fire last night in the burn pit, which I poured water all over it, but it must have fired back up. Yeah, I cut some wood for it. Yeah, it just fired back up. Burn all that wood out. But yeah, we after this passes through tomorrow, it should drop off colder. I'm not sure how far much. Oh my Lord, it's little bit. It's not so little anymore. But anyway, I figured I'd make a screen recording of the day one and show the risk. You know, I don't know if I don't think it'll be upgraded. I really don't. I do believe that it will just stay like it is. You know, I think with, what do you call it? Current, unless models change, they start, you know, showing, you know, atmospheric parameters change, models will change, showing continued heating or, you know, better moisture or, what do you call it? Instability maybe rising in an area that, you know, they didn't expect it. You know, they might add in, tweak it, you know, throughout the day, and then we'll see if anything changes there. I mean, if it does, you know, it does. We'll have to just watch out. You know, I think a lot of hours will be early in the morning while we're trying to sleep, and or it could be later on in the morning. You know, I'm sure we'll be woke up early, probably tomorrow morning, or so. We'll see what happens. I guarantee I didn't look that stupid building up. So I thought, well, maybe we'll have to cut some more wood, or, you know, we'll be down here. I'll lock it up before I leave. But last night we come down here and played a horror game. It was Five Nights at Marcus's, and it was the same thing based off of Five Nights at Freddy's, except they changed everything from Freddy to this robotic company, and this robot named Marcus that gets you. And of course I died. I don't know where he came from, and I'm sure if I keep playing it, I can probably get better and better at it. But Five Nights at Freddy's, I think, is, I mean, it's not a bad game. It's just stupid that it'd be cool if, instead of sitting at a desk watching cameras and opening and shutting the door and turning on lights or something like that, when, you know, you have limited amount of power, you know, yeah, that's kind of what the game is built off of, you know, and it become popular to certain people. But it'd be better if you can get out and kind of explore the restaurant. If they would put more work into the restaurant and uh, I don't know, maybe find hidden secrets, maybe find hidden areas or something like that. I just don't think the game is. I mean, it has jump scares. That's about it. Jump scares is its main thing. You know, it's like made for little kids or teenagers, early teenagers. You know, it's definitely not made for anybody else. And there's people on YouTube and stuff that go live or they make videos of them playing it and they're, you know, acting ridiculous where they're overreacting, you know, to get views and stuff. I mean, that's stupid. And people say, well, I don't care what you think, you know, I make my videos, I do what I want.